Welcome back to Tea Time with Troy. I just want to start this off with a little bit of tea. This time I want to introduce you guys with my favorite tea in the world. It's called Dragon Pearl tea, where you can find it as that Dragon Pearl Phoenix tea. I believe the second one is perfumed with a little bit more flavor, but the base Dragon Pearl has notes of like cocoa and caramel, and it's black tea. It's rolled into this little like pearl that you just need a couple of them per glass, and it's one of my favorite teas. I discovered it while working at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. If you're on the California coast, please go check them out. Order a drink of Dragon Pearl tea. I know there's a couple places throughout the country that you can also get this tea, but it's honestly one of my favorite. I could drink multiple cups of this. Same thing with chai, but I'm going to try another day. I just want to hit you guys with a little bit of that tea and get right into my topic, being a dad. So if any of you guys are parents out there, this one's going to be for you. My son is only 3 years old, so I may not be the most experienced parent in the world, but I feel like there is a lot that I can talk about already. I mean, the first year, second year, it's tough, you know, but my son's now starting to get to the time where he can actually talk. He's running around. He's like, hey, dad, hey, mom, dad. He was like, shut the fuck up because you're talking too much. And I know that may seem a little harsh, but when you're a parent, you know, there's times where you're just like, I'm exhausted. Please stop talking to me. Just, you know, go watch your Baby Shark or whatever. And I'll admit it. I'm not the best parent in the world when it comes to like monitoring TV time. There are definitely times where I'm like, please give me a minute. I need a minute. But you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. Having a son is it's a lot deeper of a connection than I ever expected it to be. People say it's kind of similar to having like a pet. A pet is definitely a connection, right? But having a child, it changes you a little bit, I think. Not just in the chemical sense, but just your personality. You know, you take notes of what you're saying, of who you are, how you're treating people, because you see that reflected right back at you. 100% my son copies all of our traits, whether that's like getting mad at the dogs, or like watching TV, or eating too many sweets. Like, man, this is how I act. So if you ever have trouble like really understanding who you are, having a child really throws that in your face, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like I said, he's only 3, but you know, I can already see notes of who he is, and I want to say for being an adult, it really makes you grow up faster. No matter what age you have a kid, it changes you into an adult. Whether you're 16 or 32 or 40, you may think you're an adult, but your time is still yours until you have responsibilities. This could be different for everybody. You could be in charge of a business. You could have several pets. You could be in charge of a loved one that has fallen medically ill. A responsibility will change you, though. And you know, it's one of those things where I want to hear from other parents, like, why do you think you changed so much from having a kid? Is it because you realized that you were a little bit too aggressive? Because I definitely noticed it with my son. Do you think it's like you notice your irresponsible eating habits? I do my best to make sure my son gets enough fruits and veggies and balanced meals, but sometimes I'm like, we've eaten rotisserie chicken 3 times this week, pizza, eating out, whatever it is. I'm like, this isn't good for him. Is it maybe you realize how much you were spending on dumb shit, like driving around, or like going to hang out with friends, or drinking, or whatever? You know, for me, I have way too many toys for him. I didn't buy them, but you know, family and friends gave them, and it makes me realize that, you know, financials actually do matter for the long term. I got to start saving up for his school. I got to start saving up for his supplies. I got to save up for his dreams. And that's something that really drove me to start doing a business, starting a podcast, having more than one job, but also making sure that I have time at home. That's something that has become a huge priority for me. It's just making sure I'm home in the evening because I want to see my son and my wife and just be there for them. And when you are, having no responsibilities, no kids, no pets, nothing, being at work for 12-hour days seems like nothing. Going out and hanging out with the boys, it seems like nothing. But then all of a sudden, you got somebody waiting for you at home. If you got a significant other that likes to see you at home, your quality time is their love language, that's great. Maybe you're already used to that. But if it's just like you see each other every once in a while, which, this got thrown in the face with COVID. People had to stay home and actually live with their significant others and actually understand who they are. And that didn't work out for everybody. But, having a child will also do that to you. And to be like, you need to be home. You can't just drop them off at daycare, go to work, and then come home and go to bed. It's like, being a responsible parent is a lot to carry on your shoulders. And I want to hear more from our listeners about this. So please leave a comment down below. I will respond to everything. And I'll see you in the next Tea Time with Troy.